Okay, we're back. This is part 2 of this tour of Life Celebrates the 80s, and we're on page 58. Okay, and we're on a page that says The Man with Iron Teeth, and it looks like it's about Gorbachev again. So I don't know why they call him The Man with Iron Teeth, but...
I don't know either. Never heard that one.
Okay. Chrysler Motors. Okay. Canon. I recognize that camera. Okay, here's like 80s greats. This is kind of fun. It's like they take every year and then they have like little thumbnails of highlights of the year. So it's like a Tiffany lamp that sold for $360,000.
That mentions Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate.
Oh, Heaven's Gate. Oh, the worst, one of the biggest flops ever. A huge budget, a nearly unwatchable movie. I've tried to watch it several times. Also, throw in scandals, animal cruelty and stuff. And this is the guy who directed The Deer Hunter, which was considered a great movie. But if you ever try to watch Heaven's Gate, it's terrible. Tampons? I didn't realize they were... Oh, this is caused toxic shock syndrome resulting in 42. I didn't know about that.
I didn't either. I was 2, so...
Yeah, I didn't even know what those were back then.
Yin the Panda.
Friday the 13th, a movie I wasn't allowed to see.
Rubik's Cube. My brother had one. Nobody could ever
I took all the
finish
stickers off one to solve it.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody's done that.
Let's see. Meryl Streep a lot. My mom liked her a lot. I remember when my mom watched Sophie's Choice. Pac-Man. Great game. Walter Cronkite. I remember Walter Cronkite doing the news when I was a little kid living in Kansas. Actually, I started kindergarten in 1979, so that's how old I am. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Loved that movie with a passion.
And I didn't know this, but the first mammals cloned, according to this, in 1989 was in 1981, and there were 3 mice. So Dolly was not the first animal cloned, according to this information, in 1989.
I didn't know that either. I remember the Washington Post thing, a Janet Cook story about an 8-year-old heroin addict. The only reason I know about that, because they did an episode of WKRP Cincinnati, where Bailey did the same story. And she faked it, and she got in a big scandal. So, almost all of my like 80s memories is from like TV. The FDA cracked down on starch blockers, a diet fad that purportedly prevented the body from digesting starch calories. So, I didn't know that. I remember the Tylenol scare. Totally remember that. And I was living in Texas at the time, and it was freaky.
1982, Cats. The Broadway musical began, which lasted for a very long time. I couldn't tell you up until recently. Masters of the Universe.
Oh, yeah.
Masters of the Universe was awesome, but I wasn't so much into He-Man, of course, as I was into She-Ra.
She came out later, but I wanted a He-Man so bad.
Yeah.
And a Skeletor and Manny Faces.
I was into that cartoon. I was all about She-Ra, Princess of Power, for sure.
You were into Cabbage Patch Kids.
I was into Cabbage Patch Kids. That was 1983. That was when they became really, really popular. I guess I was 5. I didn't really get one right away, but it's funny how long stuff sticks with you. Because we were playing a game at work the other day, Balderdash, which briefly I'll tell you that the whole goal behind it is you're given a category and you try to make up an answer for the person, place, or thing that other people will believe. Well, the person that we were given was Xavier Roberts, and I was like, man, I know the answer to this, but it's the creator of the Cabbage Patch doll. So we had to pick a new card because I knew the right answer.
You're a loser.
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Vacation was like the raunchiest movie ever made. The Ikea, a yuppie dog. Let's see. Oh, Hitler's 60 newfound volumes of Adolf Hitler diaries. Those were faked. Yeah, okay. Vanessa Williams. Okay, yeah, I was getting a little older, and I remember that big scandal, too. Because actually, back in the 80s, we watched Miss America pageants, strangely enough, because that was one of the only thing on the 3 channels we got.
This one I don't get. Like, it says, after 65 million years, dinosaurs staged a comeback, at least on t-shirts, at school.
Oh, is this the dinosaur fad?
Well, I didn't really realize that it was that big of a fad. I mean, I know that,
That's when shows like the Dinosaurs and Dinosaurs and all those things came out at once.
Yeah, I mean, there was always Land of the Lost, which was in the 70s. That was before our time, so it was before mine.
Trivial Pursuit. Awesome game. Transformers. I remember GoBots. Back to the Future. Awesome movie. Oh, the new Coke. Did you ever try new Coke?
Not that I remember.
I know. I kind of remember when that happened, but I didn't really care that much.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
Halley's Comet,
Hey,
1986.
I remember that. Oh, I was such a nerd too, and we had a telescope to look at it.
Alf.
Alf, of course. I remember Alf. I didn't like Alf that much. I thought he was overrated. The Fly. We just watched it the other night, and that's still a really like scary movie.
Teddy Ruxpin, I never had one of those either.
He wore like a little weird UPS uniform. You know, they have like Meryl Streep on every page. You notice that? Like they've in every one with Meryl Streep.
That is really weird. It must have been her decade.
Yeah. Let's do Mamma Mia. The California Raisins. Do you remember the little...
Spuds McKenzie.
Oh, yeah. Spuds McKenzie. Pitbulls.
Yeah. And I do remember the California Raisins. I had a California Raisins t-shirt.
I remember the finger puppets made of foam.
I remember Hardee's gave them away in like their kids' meals. And I had like all of the little figurines. I had like 15 of one of them too, trying to get all of them. Because they were pretty popular.
Ben Johnson, I remember that, the first big steroid scandal. This was 1988. I was getting kind of understanding in the years. Andy Warhol. Let's see. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I didn't know about any of this Playboy stuff. Okay. Let's see.
Lyme disease.
Lyme disease. Okay, yeah. When we were at a battlefield, my dad got a tick on him, and we were driving back from Tennessee to Texas, and we thought he had Lyme disease because it like really got inflamed, then it went away. So I don't think he got it. But that was scary. Batman. I loved Batman. Okay, let's keep going. Last team.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep again. Do you really think she was pretty?
She's unique looking.
Yeah, she's like Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. She looks like a lot of models look. They have that kind of odd look about them. I don't know.
Yeah, she's a good actress though. Okay, Sandra Day O'Connor. Jesse Jackson.
Smith Corona.
My mom had one.
Typewriter, a typewriter ad. I mean, how funny is that?
I know, it's so obsolete.
I think I had a little Smith Corona spell checking little gadget one time.
T. Everett Koop, the Surgeon General. I remember him on TV all the time, like saying about that no smoking stuff. He looks like a Quaker or something. Margaret Thatcher. I don't know why, but I just liked her. She just seemed really cool. Taster's Choice. I always used to think that was my dad. When I was really, really, really young. I thought that was my dad on this. But I was really young then. Trivial Pursuit. Michael Jackson. Sad Story. That's when he was still somewhat normal. I remember it was so cool that, you know, around Thriller, even in Chico, Texas, we were buying the tape and stuff. It was like everyone loved that song so much. And I also remember my mom wouldn't let me watch the video when it first came out.
Really?
And then she had to preview it. Wayne Gretzky.
An ad for VHS blank tapes.
Oh, man.
Which is really funny. Kodak ad. Film ad.
Bill Cosby. Icon of the 80s. Strange Sweaters, The Cosby Show. Man. Of course, I thought Bill Cosby was awesome. Madonna.
Yeah, okay. Madonna was my favorite. Like, quick story. Hope you like my stories. I was 6 years old. I was in the first grade. All of our classrooms had bathrooms in the classroom at this time. I excused myself from my reading class to use the restroom and had no idea that people could hear me in there as I was singing like a virgin. I was 6 years old. I had no idea what that meant. And obviously I had no idea that the bathroom was not soundproof.
Oh, man.
I come out, the entire class is giggling at me. My teacher still to this day remembers that story. Yes, indeed.
Well, we even when the Christmas carols played, they had like the Young Virgin in that. We were like, you know.
I didn't know what that meant. I had no idea.
Because we were so backwards. Russia. Okay. Doonesbury and cigarettes. That's the cartoon my parents read that I didn't understand. Nice cars. I didn't like 80s cars, I'll be honest with you. I just didn't like them. I like 70s cars. I like 50s cars. I didn't realize that stretch of interstate was done so recently in my lifetime. I had no idea. This is AIDS.
I don't know that this stretch of highway was necessarily built during that time, but it was. They followed people along the highway for the decade of the 80s or whatever.
I remember Rock Hudson got AIDS and died, and I remember that was like the big eye-opening thing because he was like the Hollywood heartthrob guy, and then suddenly he's dying of AIDS, and that was pretty shocking. And I think that kind of woke people up to how devastating that was. I've never had an electric razor in my whole life. To those unable to create their own baby boom science and free market enterprise hit on methods for people in empty cribs. Oh, that was like artificial insemination. And it all led to the Octomom.
Yeah.
Dinner of the decade. Is that like caviar? Roasted Japanese eggplant and tomato. Oh wow. CD changer. R5 to CD changer gives you at least 5 hours of uninterrupted playing time. And it was probably only $5,000.
Yeah, it was like a month's salary back then.
Now you can go to Walmart and buy a CD player when yours breaks for like $25. Blackened tenderloins. Buick. That looks good. Rum.
Some recipes.
We have a cat who's digging in between us right now. That's sad. Very sad stuff.
Yeah.
There was a lot of sad stuff in the 80s too. American Babble on Oprah, Afternoon Blabber, Quail, Brass Ring Nabber, Tyson Two-Fisted Jabber, Trump. Look how young Donald Trump was, and Letterman. Lots of camera ads. Oh, of course, Princess Di.
Dancing with John Travolta, which is really weird. Yeah,
And
Princess Diana was a big, huge deal. Everybody followed the royal family. Our family wasn't really into it so much, but the news just was in love with her.
I know. Of course, I also remember I was at when she died, too. So that was one of those. Bear Bryant, big-time coach in Alabama. And, of course, the Alaskan oil spill. I remember that. That was awful. Wow. I remember that little religious sex scandal. Armani.
Well, there's Krista McCall.
Oh yeah, from the Challenger.
Yeah.
That's so sad. My quick story. My 5th grade teacher was on the short list to be on the Challenger, and we were Mrs. Rollins, and we were so glad that she did. You know, we weren't glad that it exploded, but we were certainly glad it wasn't her because we really liked her a lot. Oh, an F-15, I think. Or an F-14. I should know I was in the military. You think I know my planes better? E.T.
Yeah,
Saw it in the theater.
Yeah, this was a article about an E.T. reunion.
Yeah, and there's Steven Spielberg right there. And Drew Barrymore. Oh, yeah. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And as we get to gun problems. And I hope you enjoyed watching this. And we definitely enjoyed reminiscing for you. So until our next review, we'll do another collaborative review for you. Bye.